Today, we're going to walk through the playbook that takes a brilliant idea from just a spark in your head to a real, protected, and valuable asset. You know that feeling, right? That bolt of lightning, that moment you think, wait a minute, this could actually work. It's just pure energy, pure potential. And then, almost like clockwork, that second thought creeps in, that little voice of fear whispering, what if I tell someone? What if someone else is already doing this? What if my idea gets stolen before I can even get it off the ground? Look, that fear is totally normal, but it doesn't have to be what stops you. The most successful innovators out there, they don't just have great ideas, they have a strategy. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today, the playbook to protect your work. First up, let's talk about the brilliant idea problem. It's not really about the idea itself, but figuring out what on earth to do next to build something real and defensible around it. Which brings us to section 2, mapping your treasure chest. Before you even think about lawyers or patents, you gotta know what you've actually got. You have to take stock. So I want you to stop thinking of your project as one single idea. Instead, picture it like a treasure chest filled with all kinds of different assets. You might have code, some cool designs, valuable data, a unique name, a special process. The goal here is to create a map that shows every single piece of that treasure. And this is what that map can look like. It's a really powerful tool for turning that vague idea into a solid inventory. You just list the asset, let's say it's a unique algorithm you wrote, then you categorize it. Maybe it's a trade secret for now. What's the rationale? Well, it's the core of your competitive advantage. So what's the immediate action? Document the whole process and lock down access to it, like this week. See? This simple chart forces you to get crystal clear. All right, so once your map is done, you're looking at a huge strategic decision for every single thing on that list. Do you show it to the world, or do you lock it away in a vault? This brings us to a really fundamental trade-off. A patent, well, that gives you powerful 20-year legal protection. But, and this is a big but, in exchange, you have to publicly disclose exactly how your invention works. On the other hand, you have a trade secret, like the formula for Coca-Cola. That's protected forever, but only as long as you can keep it a secret. The second it gets out, poof, your protection is gone. And there's this really interesting third option, strategic publishing. By putting some of your less critical innovations out there, in articles or open source projects, you create what's called prior art. And what that does is it stops anyone else, including your biggest competitors, from patenting that specific idea later. It's actually a pretty clever defensive move. Okay, on to section 4, checking for hidden traps. You've got your protection strategy in mind. The very next step is to scout the territory for legal landmines before you start building. This whole process is called a freedom to operate analysis, or FTO. And really, it just answers one simple question. Can I actually sell my product without getting sued? It's all about making sure your brilliant idea doesn't accidentally trample all over someone else's existing patents. Doing this early can save you from an absolute world of pain down the road. And look, it doesn't have to be some super complicated, expensive thing, at least not at first. You can start with a basic risk check yourself. Step 1, identify the key technical parts of your idea that might cause a conflict. Step 2, use those keywords to search public patent databases. And step 3, if you find something that looks a little too close for comfort, you start building a plan to deal with it. And here's the best part. Finding a potential conflict is not a dead end. It's actually just a strategic choice. You could try to design your product a different way to avoid the patent. You could license the tech from the other company. You could form a partnership. Or you could even pivot and use your core innovation in a completely different industry where that patent doesn't even apply. All right, section 5, choosing your path forward. You've mapped your assets, you've scouted the terrain for traps. Now it's time for the big one. How are you actually going to get your innovation out into the world? So, the first path is licensing. Here, you're basically renting your technology to a big, established company that already has all the manufacturing, marketing, and distribution figured out. It's usually faster and a lot less risky than trying to do it all yourself. Then, of course, there's path number 2, the classic startup route. You build a company from scratch to bring the idea to life yourself. Now, this is the high-risk, high-reward path, right? You keep all the control, but you also take on all the work and all the risk. And there's a third path, which is perfect for ideas that aren't quite ready for prime time yet. You can partner up with a university or another company to do more research and development, basically to prove out the tech before you make that huge commercialization decision. So, what's the ultimate goal here? Every single decision we've just talked about, from mapping your assets, to picking a protection strategy, to choosing your path to market, it all serves one single crucial purpose: building your business moat. And that goal is to build a business moat. A moat isn't just a patent or a single trade secret. No, it's that deep, wide, sustainable advantage that protects your business from competitors for the long haul. Think of it like this: your intellectual property portfolio. All those assets you mapped out, those are the bricks. Your protection strategy, what you patent, what you hide, that's the design of your fortress walls. And your path to market, that's the bridge you build to connect your fortress to the rest of the world. They all have to work together. And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. The key to a strong moat is consistency. If your business model is all about being the low-cost option, then spending millions on patents probably doesn't make sense. If your big advantage is a secret sauce, then patenting it and telling the whole world the recipe would be, well, crazy. Your IP plan must always support your business model. And that brings us right back to you. After you've mapped your assets, weighed your options, and picked a path, the real question becomes crystal clear. It's not just, is my idea good? It's, what is the defensible strategic moat that I can build around this idea? Answering that, well, that's how you turn an idea into an enterprise.